Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the
Latin
Latin
voices.
voices.
um, happy and blessed Thursday for everyone, and happy and blessed Friday for those who are already on Friday. So, uh, thank you for being here in another episode of the Latin Voices. And today we are bringing you the following topic.
All right, so our topic for today is
Oh,
failure is not the opposite of success, it's the path to it.
yes. That's the topic for today. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Yesenia, but everyone knows me as Jessie. I'm a nurse by professional. I live here in Ontario, Canada. Um, but I'm original from Cuba. I'm a proud digital business owner and a mentor.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Isabel. I am originally from Mexico, now living in North Carolina with my husband, our three kids, and I'm also a proud digital business owner and a mentor.
Okay, thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Jesse. So we also wanted to remind you that every Tuesdays and every Thursdays we have our live webinar. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is just register into any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into our website, you receive an email that contains two links. The first one is to register for the live webinar. That one happens every Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, so 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So you can register for either day or for both. The second link that you get there is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to our live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, so what is it that we're going to find out on the webinar? On the webinar, you're going to find out how an online business plan works, and also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So if you want to catch tonight live webinar, here are the hosts and panelists for tonight's live webinar.
Okay, so we're having our live webinar tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will have Elena as our host. Elena is a job quitter now, a full-time digital business owner. We're also going to have Tanisha and Tarisha. One is a recovery assistant, and the other one is a teacher. We're going to have PV and Josh. PV is a registered nurse, and Josh is an Airbnb host. And we're going to have Dorothy, an anti-money laundering analyst.
We also have Atika, she's a nurse. Fatima is a NYPD officer. Anusha is accountant and a buyer advocate. And Hien, a technical support. So all these people for different backgrounds, as you can see, they're going to be today on a live webinar. Today is November 6th, but remember, we have live webinar every Tuesdays and Thursday, always at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And the only thing you have to do to get access to this webinar is register with your name and email to any of our websites or link, and we will contact you by email. So if you want to learn the proper system that will work for you to start your online business journey, register and learn.
Thank you so well. Thank you, Jesse. So if you're catching tonight's live webinar, our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And if you're catching the replay of tonight's live webinar, our replays has subtitles in several languages. So there you go. So if you want to learn how to start your online business, All you have to do is just register into any of the websites on the screen, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. All right, so let's dive into our topic for today.
Yes, so our topic is failure is not the opposite of success, is the path to it.
Yes. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So welcome back to another episode of Latin Voices. And happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday. Um, so today, let's talk about a topic that many avoid, but everyone experience, and that is failure. Nobody wants to talk about failure because, we are so conditioned to think that failure is a bad things, but in reality, failure is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because, if you look at the positive side, you're learning from it. And many times, those failures are stepping stones for you to be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So, like, for example, many businessmen, those failures that they had were stepping stones to be successful leaders in their industry. That they use those failures to be able to make it better. So we learn from those mistakes. So it's not a bad thing as we usually think it is. So here's the truth: failure isn't the end of your journey, it's part of the road to success. So let's flip the script together. So today, that's our main topic. So, what are the points that we're going to be talking today?
So the main points are point number one. No, point number one. Every success story has a failure chapter. We're going to dig in a little bit on that. Point number two, cultural resilience is our superpower. And point number three, failure builds grit, and grit builds success. So stay with us and let's start.
Yes. So let's dive into our first point.
So our first point, every success history has a failure chapter. Isn't that amazing? As Sandy said, we all don't want to hear the F word, like the failure word. We don't want to hear about it. So we often see the highlight reels, but behind every I made it is I fail and I get up. Okay, so according to Harvard Business Review, over 75% of success entrepreneurs fail at least once before they building the background business. Okay, failure is not a proof you are not good enough. Okay, it's a proof that you are trying something new. It's a feedback, not a final grade. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit. When we go to a school like science grade 1 or whatever, and we get that F, you fail. We get so scared, and we don't want to continue. But the reality is, we had to pass that class. We have to take the test again. So it's no excuse. So you have to study hard so you can pass. So that's what we have to do in real life. Okay. Failure is not the opposite of success. Is part of it. It's a whole combination. Every success story that you admire right now, they have a failure. They have a chapter. They have failure before, not once, many times. Okay, so let's be more comfortable with that word. When you see something or someone, living their dreams, living their life, it's easy to say, oh my gosh, the life is so easy. Wow, how they do everything. Like, how do they go there? But we never thought about, like, oh, what they were their setback, what they were they no sleep nights. You want to pick up their brains to know why they have learned, because failure is just a learning process. Okay, let's give some examples, crazy examples here. Let me think. Like, saying that word right. Oprah Winfrey. When she was fired from her first TV job because her producer said she wasn't fit for television. Imagine that. If she had give up, the world would have never known the most influential talk work. She was influential talk, like, show, and she was the host of the Lifetime. Also we have Walt Disney, was told that he lacked imagination and got fired of the newspaper job. So later he went bankrupt, and now her, and he went bankrupt, but before creating the magic of Disney that inspiring millions. So you think about it. If you have think, oh, I'm a failure, I'm not, a lack of imagination, we will, like, the magic of Disney will not be exist right now. Isn't that crazy? We also have J.K. Rowling,
Mhm.
the author of Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. She was rejected by 12 publishers before someone finally said yes to her script. You know, now her books have sold over 50 million copies. Isn't that crazy? So think about it. Not once, 12 times. And she never stopped. Even Thomas Edison, uh, uh, he failed over 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. When asked about failure, just think about it. I did not fail. I learn. You learn about it, so you will get better. You are not stuck. You're building your story. Day by day. Your failure is not the reason you haven't get there. It's the reason that you're going to get there. Does that make sense? So that's what I learned about this business. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not good at this. I'm going to fail, but that did not stop me. I reinvented failure, and I see it as a learning process. So I hope so that this failure that you are right now is building your success story, and it's building mine. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Jessie. Thank you for sharing that. Very good examples that, a lot of people that, that we only tend to see the success, but we never hear their stories where they also fail before they come in, to be successful as they are today. So failure isn't proof that failure isn't proof that you're not good enough. It's proof that you're trying something new, because when we try something new, we're not expert, so we are learning on the process, and then we become an expert. So that's part of the process. That's part of the learning curve. So we just have to take it, as a learning experience. Yes, it didn't go well the first time, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever. So we learn from it and we continue and move on. So let's go to point number 2.
Okay, so point number 2, cultural resilience is our superpower. So as Latinos, we've learned to rise, to rebuild, to reinvent ourselves again and again. For many of us, our story begins with sacrifice, leaving behind our roots, leaving behind our families, and leaving behind our comfort, to create a better future. That's why we do it, because a lot of times, like for me, it was my parents, the ones that decided to leave everything back so that they could give us a better future. So when I arrived to this new country, for me as a child, I didn't have a roadmap. I had to start from zero. New country, new language, new, I had to adapt to everything, new opportunities too. And like so many others, I carry the same determination, as our parents taught us. You don't quit just because it's hard. You keep showing up. And, I heard that from my parents again and again and again, because when they came to this country, like I said, they didn't speak the language. They had no idea how the culture and how everything worked, but they had to learn and they had to adapt. And us as kids, we didn't speak the language. We had to go to a school that, everybody was talking and we were like, like I have no idea what you're telling me. So we had to learn how to adapt quickly. And as Latinos, that's what we do. That's what a lot of us have to learn, to rise, learn to adapt, and learn to rebuild. And in the way, we have to learn to reinvent ourselves a lot of times so that we can be where everybody is going, because you don't want to be left behind. So according to this research, from Pew Center, 83% of Latino immigrants believe that hard work leads to success even after setbacks. And that's not just an statistic, it's our life experience. So we know what it's like to build something from scratch, to fall and get back up, to work twice as hard just to be seen. That grit, that heart, and that unshakable faith isn't it's our advantage, because a lot of times, I don't know, for those of you or many of you who worked in different environments where there's hard physical labor, you have a lot of Latinos that work there. And if you ask, so many of their employers, they depend on them because they know that they're going to be the ones who move the needle, the ones that are going to give everything to get the work done. And a lot of times, even though they depend on them to do the work, the Latinos are not really appreciated in their works because they don't get the right treatment, they don't get the benefits they need to get. So as Latinos, we really have to learn that failure doesn't just define us, it is perseverance does. So we have to learn to adapt ourselves and learn that there's new opportunities, that there's other things that we can do instead of going out to work and work for somebody else and give them all your energy because you're doing all this work. First of all, you have to learn how to do it, and then you have to really have the energy and the health to go out and do it every day. So every challenge we face, language barriers, cultural shift, self doubt, has shaped our resilience and sharpened our purpose. So you just have to find that purpose. What is your purpose? Because we already have everything that we need to succeed and to build something on our own. So today, the same resilience is what allows us to step into entrepreneur, entrepreneurship, So we can be leaders. We can be somebody that is succeeding in an environment completely unknown to us, an environment that, yes, we don't have that many, or we didn't used to have that many, but now, Latinos are moving out of their comfort zone and they're learning and they're doing things that before we thought that we only had to do all the hard jobs, all the labor jobs. But now, with leadership and the digital growth, we can do something else with courage and conviction. Because once you build your life from the ground up, there's nothing you can't create when you decide to believe in yourself. So we already fallen so many times. We already got back up so many times. And this is just something else that we have to learn to do. So take a step, decide, think about what you really want to do in life. Like, what is that desire that you have had in your heart for so long, but you had to put it to the side because you're the one who has to provide for your family? And maybe you're thinking, this is the only way. But let me tell you, there's other ways. So as the hardworking people that we are, let me tell you, you're capable to learn the skills that you need to be successful in a digital business.
Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, so Isabel taught us about cultural resilience is our superpower. Yeah, because, like the example that Isabel was saying, many of us, we are immigrants in different countries around the world. So, for example, Canada and United States, just to start with. And, like it's usually our parents, or sometimes many of you guys are coming already, older as an adult. And, when we come to here, we face many challenges, like she mentioned, the languages and all that. So for us, doing that big leap of faith, moving from our country to coming to a new one, you don't want to give up, so that's why, we keep going, because we want a better life, build it. It doesn't matter how long it takes us, we are perseverant, and we keep fighting to be able to reach that dream that we want. So That's our resilience as, as a Latino community around the world. So let's move on to point number 3. So failure builds grit, and grit builds success. So for most of my life, I believe that success, and I think many of you guys too, was about getting things right the first time. Coming from the film industry, where every scene, every take, and every detail had to be perfect. So failure wasn't something I was comfortable with. But when I decided to step out of my comfort zone and start my online business, I quickly realized something. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. And at the beginning, I faced challenges that tested my patience and self belief. Learning new system, understanding automation, building confidence online. It wasn't easy. Um, but there were moments when I felt frustrated too, when things didn't go as planned, when I questioned if I was really cut out for this. Um, but every time I stumble, I reminded myself why I started. So one of my reasons, was to create freedom, to create that flexibility, to create that purpose, while being present for my family, especially, my aging parents. And each time I got back up, something inside me grew stronger. So, according to the psychology Angela Duckworth grid, the combination of passion and persistence is the number one predictor of long term success, more than talent or intelligence. So, it's about, what you love to do and the persistence to keep going. And I've seen that proven over and over again, both in my own journey and in the journeys of those I mentor. So each time you fail and rise, you build that grit. And each time you try again, you build that character. And those small comebacks shape the person who's capable of handling bigger victories later. Um, and that that is true, part like, like I started on the online business journey, and I faced those struggles too because it was something new for me. But even on my on my film industry, it was the same thing. It was not easy, and we come back to the previous point that Isabel was mentioning, but we are persevering. We are a cultural um, community that, that we persevere on what we do. It's not easy, we're gonna have along the way things that, it's make us, like giving up or quit, but we have a dream to a better life, so we keep going besides all those setbacks, so we persevere. So that's what I love about, when I came to this business model. Even though it was new, you were not feeling alone, because about the business model that we have. You're never feeling alone. You have mentorship to guide you. You have a community to live you. So the systems that keep working in the background, even when you're still figure things out, and you're never alone on this journey. And that's the beauty of it, that you have like a second family here. um, while, on the other one, you're on your own trying to create that path for yourself. So in this space, every setback is simply a setup for your next breakthrough. So you're not starting from zero, you're starting from experience. When I look back now, I'm grateful for every challenge because they build the resilience that I have today. They build that discipline, and they build that faith, and those are the foundations of everything that I have today. So failure builds grit, and grit builds success, and grit build the woman I'm becoming today. So here is a message for you, or action step for you. Don't be afraid to fail, okay? Be afraid of standing still. So every try again moment is a proof that you're stronger than you were yesterday. So even though, we were so conditioned to think of failure as a bad thing, don't take it. Just ignore that, and take it as a stepping stone to for you to keep growing, for you to become better, and for you to keep going to where you want to be. So that's my message for you today for this point. And our which one is our what is our key takeaway for today?
So our key takeaway is, so next time you feel like you're failing, or you feel like a failure is holding you back, remember, failure is not your enemy, it's your educator. You are becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose.
Yes. So we have arrived to the end of our lives. So we hope so that you got some inspiration for today that, um, the thing that, failure is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because we grow from it, we learn from it, and we become a better person. So um, I hope so that you got inspired with what we shared today. Jesse gave so many examples of people that, that we only see the success, but before that success, there were some failures that they face, and Isabel taught us about, the Latino community, the resilience that they build when they move, they take that leap of faith to a new country, all the challenges that they face. But besides of those challenges, they keep pushing forward. They become resilient. Why? Because they have a dream to become better for them and their families. So and those failures, they teach you things, and they help you to become better, to become more resilient, to have that faith, and to keep moving forward. So if you want to share something with us, any experience that you also had, or anything that you love from this topic, put it in the comments and let us know. I will be happy to read it. And if you want to learn how you can be part of a global online business community where you will have all the support and you're never alone on this journey. Here are three ways that you can get in touch with us. So you can either put in the comments more info, or you can send us a private message and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Or you can register directly into our websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar, which we happen to have one tonight. So it's every Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So when you register into our website, you receive an email that will contain two links. The first one is to register to the live webinar. That one will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday and one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. And the second link is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So now you probably wonder, so what is it that we're going to find out on the webinar? On the webinar, you're going to find out how an online business plan works. And also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So again, if you want to catch tonight's live webinar, you can get in touch with us these three ways. So put in the comments more info, send us a private message, or register directly into our website. All right, so let's find out what is our topic for next Thursday.
Okay, our topic will be real people, real results, real seasons to start. It's going to be a good topic, so don't forget to join us next Thursday.
Yes. So you'll see stories that prove if they can, so can you. So that's what we're going to be talking next Thursday. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. And for those catching the replay, thank you so much. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. And we also want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and a happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday, and a happy and blessed rest of the week and the weekend for the weekend that is coming very soon. So thank you again for being here with us, and until the next episode of the
Latin
Voices.
Voices.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Thank you all.